Hello, hello, and welcome to the Combed Education Podcast. Let's talk hair, but we're talking a little bit more hair, a little bit more than hair today. My name is Araz. I'm your host, fellow industry professional, colorist for over 20 something years. And I always say this podcast is a passion project of mine. It's my contribution to this industry that I've been so fortunate to be a part of. And on the podcast, I like to share little nuggets of wisdom, little nuggets of education, spanning across what we do in our whole industry. So not just chemistry, not just science, not just social media. I talk about business, mindset, all of the things. And today I'm really excited. So if you guys are listening and you're not watching this on YouTube, you will not see that I have a very beautiful person sitting right next to me. But if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously you guys see that I have a very special guest today. Katrina, who has been a friend of mine for what, five years? 5-ish years. Yeah. She is an esthetician. She is a new word I learned today, a yogini. So I was like, I'm going to introduce you as a yogi. And she's like, yogini. I was like, yogi. She said, yogi is the male and yogini is female. So she is also a yogini. She has experience in this industry with hairdressers. And so I wanted to bring her on to talk about something that I've never talked about on the podcast, which is yoga and part of like the mindfulness of it and why it's so important for us as colorists, as stylists to integrate this practice. It doesn't mean you have to do it every single, she's going to talk all about it, but like, you don't have to do it every single day, but to start introducing little nuggets of what she shares into your everyday life. So I'm going to hand it over to her. I will say this, she has done what did you record? What would you call like a step-by-step?
A
little tutorial for hairdressers, a little beginner. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm talking about it.
Beginner, okay. Nice and easy, gentle.
Perfect. I love nice and easy and gentle, especially if you don't do that stuff. That shit could be a little challenging. I see the shit she does. I'm like, yeah, no. Wrong bitch.
No back bends, I promise. Nothing crazy.
No. So I'm going to hand it over to her, and then I want her to just kind of share her, like, if you don't mind, your journey, and what you see the benefit of yoga is, especially with people in our industry. So with that said, Katrina.
Hi, thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it. I think it's wonderful that you're introducing this on your podcast and giving stylists another route to decompress after the day. So hi, I'm Katrina. I am not only a licensed esthetician, but also a 500-hour advanced registered yoga teacher.
Yes.
So I really embody and love to encompass the holistic approach to life in general. I know we hear that as like a buzzword these days, holistic, and what does that really mean? It really means integrating breath work, movement, eating healthy, really fulfilling and sustaining our life with other aspects rather than just like our work, right? So I'm sure, as you all know, we work in this industry, and we're part of a society where the booked and busy model is really
shoved down our throats.
It's shoved down our throats. Yes. And while I'm all for making money, make your money.
Get your bag.
I don't think it leaves us a lot of room to actually check in with ourselves and be mindful about what we're doing with our bodies and our minds and our breath. So yoga, this is where this comes in. Let's start with, what does standing all day do to our bodies, right? That
fucks us up.
Yeah, I'm sure you know that after standing for however many years, 20 years, right? So standing on our feet all day, even sitting all day, can have huge effects on our body and our nervous system. So standing all day, speaking directly to stylists, when we're standing all day, what it does is it actually brings the blood flow down to our feet. I'm sure you probably had feet swelling.
They're swollen right now.
Okay.
Like my feet are throbbing right now. Like if I put my feet, they're very swollen.
Okay, so one thing you could do right now while you're sitting here is elevate your feet.
I have nowhere to
So what it does is it doesn't allow for proper blood flow to flow through our body and back up through our heart. So it really creates a stagnation in circulation. Another thing that it does is it compresses the spine.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of low back issues, hip issues.
I hope you guys are nodding your heads. If you've been doing hair longer than 5 years, you're like, check, check, yep. Like at the end of the day, our check engine lights, all of them come on at the same time, right?
Yeah.
It's like shoulders, neck, lower back, feet, hands, carpal tunnel, like all of these things. So as she's speaking, I know that this is resonating with you guys. So I'm going to ask that you just like really pay attention, because this is a make or break for your career. I always tell hairdressers, if you're doing like the triple booked or whatever, your body is going to get to a point where it's going to say, fuck you, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I think what I've learned through stretching and yoga is it like kind of alleviates that and prevents my body from saying, fuck you, I'm done. Right? Like I'll work hard and then I decompress. So pay attention. Sorry, I wanted to.
No, I think that's great. And our body is in this constant state of healing, right? It always wants us to be at our best, but it only can do so much before we actually have to step in and actively work with it, right? So if we're not doing anything, your body's going to get to a point where it's like, lay down, right? Yeah. And then you're having to cancel on your clients,
or,
right?
Your shoulder surgery or carpal tunnel, like, and then we can't afford, we don't want to have to do that, right? If we have to cancel our clients because our back went out, or my carpal tunnel is flaring, or my feet are swollen, like these are all things that are going to cost us in the long run. So if you're young and like fucking on it right now, great. It's not going to last.
But implement this, like, right?
Start now.
Like I always say that to my clients in skincare too. I'm like, yeah, you can not wash your face tonight. You can sleep in your makeup. You can do all the things to your face. You're going to pay for it later down the road, right?
Yeah.
So while we have this mindfulness right now, start implementing these practices because it's going to save you time, money, energy in the future.
Yes.
We're setting our future selves up for success.
Yes.
So we're having that increased pressure in the spine. It causes low back pain, muscle spasms, all of those things. The blood flow doesn't flow properly. And so we're having this built up stagnation within our body. Mm-hmm. So what yoga helps us to do, and the Western view of yoga is very much so like a physical aspect, right? It's hardcore. We're taking yoga classes. We're doing heated yoga. You're seeing all these back bends and handstands.
Tugging on one finger. Like, can I just like stretch?
Yeah.
Can I just?
So, and then we also think it's a lot it's stretching, right?
I think that works for me.
Right. And it can be a lot of stretching, but it's also strengthening for the body, which a lot of people don't know. It's this really nice, and I know you hate this word, balance, right?
My favorite word.
But yoga, you can have that balance in yoga.
I say balance doesn't exist in life, but in yoga, yes, it's a push-pull, it's a yin-yang. I get it.
Absolutely. And we're balancing the yin and the yang, right? So
yang, not yang.
Did you like that?
I'm not a yogini. Yeah, she was a very subtle, the yin and the yang.
It's yang.
The black and the white.
You know what? That just leads me to like what yoga actually means in a traditional sense. The word yoga is actually derived from the Sanskrit name. I'm going to get really nerdy right here now
yes,
because I love to nerd out.
All of you guys do. If you're listening to my podcast, y'all are nerds too. So
okay. So yoga,
safe space. Let it go.
Yoga comes from the Sanskrit word yuj. And what yuj means is to yoke, to bind, to unite, to come together. So we're literally bringing the mind and the body together by utilizing our breath. Breath is such an important tool. So I'm going to talk about breath work, especially if you stay and watch that recording, the tutorial. You'll notice how I say multiple times, follow your breath pattern. You're breathing in for this and you're exhaling for that. Breathing in for this and exhaling for that. Even when you're standing behind the chair, even when I'm with clients, I'll go in circular motions on the face and breathe. Inhale as I circle up and exhale as I go down, right? It's just creating that more mindfulness and awareness of where I am. I'm being present right now. I'm being mindful with my body and in my space. So
Yeah. I mean, not us taking deep breaths before we recorded this podcast. We both like together synchronistically without even realizing. We're like, okay, we're just gonna go.
We're grounding,
important,
right?
Yes, it is important.
And
but I love that idea of incorporating breath into what we're already doing. Because I mean, somebody we both know used to say this, we are being breathed or like we don't have to think about breath, like our body does it naturally. But to be mindful about it and be in like a flow with it is different than what your body does naturally.
How many times have you been in a space or you've been working on a person's hair and you're like, oh shit, I haven't breathed in a few minutes?
Yeah, never. I breathe. But it's not.
But you're holding your breath,
yes.
Or you're breathing from your chest,
yes.
Or you notice you're not taking deep breaths, yes. Right? You're like,
yeah, the body is just going to naturally do whatever, but it's not
but that's sending our body, actually like our sympathetic nervous system. It's activating our sympathetic nervous system, which takes us into fight or flight.
I live there.
So yeah, a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs live in fight or flight, right? Where we're like
so bad
all the time. But if we're consciously breathing and we're taking those mindful breaths from the belly and expanding the diaphragm and really sinking into the space, it's allowing for our parasympathetic nervous system to activate, which actually allows us to rest, repair, recover, relax. So it's a totally different type of breathing, right? And that's what yoga helps us do. So it increases flexibility, it increases range of motion, it helps to alleviate those aches and pains that we've been feeling all day. And then really be able to, when we have that booked and busy day, we can actually be there, be present with our clients, and go home and feel like we had a successful day and not feel like we've just got run over by a semi truck.
Yeah,
right?
And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I've been ran over by a semi truck. If I'm working a long day, and you guys know, I don't double book. I have pretty mellow back-to-back clients, but they're pretty mellow. And even then I come home and I'm like, everything hurts. Everything from top to bottom hurts. And so when I've incorporated, I don't know what your tutorial looks like, but I do stretching every single day. If I don't, I lock up and like my body completely calcifies. And so I think from what I'm hearing, yoga takes that and breath work and like combines.
Absolutely.
So it just takes it to the next level. It's like stretching is here and then yoga is here.
Yeah, it's really about it's taking it to more of like past the physical and into more of a spiritual consciousness, right? We live in everything is tangible, right? We have a physical body, we have a physical world that we live in. We're touching things all day long, we're seeing things all day long. So it takes us past that point and into a higher level, right? Where we can actually release our thoughts. We can sink into ourselves, check in with the body, see how we feel, and then we can make decisions and moves from there.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because that's not normal. It's not common.
No, it's not. And even being a yoga teacher, I obviously have
a yogini. I'm sorry, I'm gonna use that word all day today.
You're loving
I love the word.
word.
I love it. It just sounds sexy, like a yogini. Sounds like a martini. Yeah, it just like rolls off the tongue. I like it. I want to do one.
Yeah.
But no, I'm good. I am good. My plate, it runneth over.
Okay.
It floweth over.
Araz's next career is going to be a yogini.
That's not going to be it. I'm going to just introduce yoginis. I like the word. It's a pretty word. I like the energy around the word.
Right.
Sorry. Anyways, back to what you were saying.
I think it's a very feminine word, right?
It's sexy.
Yeah. I don't know where it's going.
So for those of you who are regular listeners, if you haven't caught on to this, I don't edit the podcast ever. And quite honestly, I don't listen to it until it's published if I feel like it. So I record on the video and the audio, and then it's published. So I told Katrina that before, and she was like, oh. I was like, yeah, it's one shot, because done is better than perfect.
You're one take Drake.
That's it. One take Drake. So if you lost your train of thought, it's totally okay.
Okay.
And I think those of you who are listening, you can relate, because we have all ADD, so it's fine.
Oh, you know what you said I was thinking about when you said you stretch every single day?
Yes.
I wanted to mention, and I didn't get to this in the tutorial actually, but there is one pose that is the most beneficial pose to do right when you get out of bed. every single day that I hit as soon as I wake up, and it's a forward fold. So just standing up out of bed, you've wakened your body up already, you've wiggled the toes, the fingers.
I don't wiggle my toes.
All right, wiggle your toes and your fingers.
I put my eyes and I'm like, okay, let's roll. Ain't no fucking toe wiggling my finger. Not happening.
Okay.
But I can incorporate that.
Wiggle the toes.
Okay.
Roll the ankles. Get the muscles, everything. Our feet are the underrated MVPs of the body. I literally did a whole sequence on this. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
I
might not do
they're
that.
cramped up in shoes all day long. Okay. You're standing all day long. Our feet were not made to be in shoes all day long, right? Our toes like to expand. It's actually how we ground and we feel that, like, our presence, right? So if you can wiggle the toes, stretch the toes, roll the ankles, get the movement into the arch of the foot, feel each of the ball, like each toe touch something, find that mindfulness.
Oh, that's a lot.
It takes like 2 seconds.
No, I know, but it's like 5 a.m. It's for me to think about. I can do it.
Yeah.
Because I have plantar fasciitis I'm currently dealing with right now. So I have to do something every morning anyways. Got it. Yes. I will take it.
Yeah.
And I'll share it with you guys if you have it recorded.
I can definitely do that. Absolutely.
Do you have it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't record this part.
Okay.
But I will.
Okay. We'll follow up on foot yoga.
Yeah. It's so important. And because you guys use your hands so much, roll the fingers, get into each and every space, do some wrist rolls. All of this can help any stagnation.
Yeah. It's right there on my desk. I'm not kidding. I use that on my hands and my feet every day.
So
every
good.
Because it cramps up because of
so
what we
proud
do.
of you.
I'm very proud of me too.
Self-care.
Isn't it nice?
I love it. So after you do all of this and you get up out of bed, the first thing you can do that will help to stretch and move, we have something inside of our body is called fascia. And what it is connective tissue that encases, that holds all of our muscles in place. So when we're not stretching that fascia and creating that actually micro tension in our body, which was what stretching does, the fascia will tighten up and it holds the muscles so the muscle can't expand and contract.
And that's why you feel
so tight.
That makes sense.
That fascia, that connective tissue is not able to move. So a forward fold, just stand straight up and then fold over the body. Even if you have to bend your knees a lot or maybe sit on something the first few times, that's totally fine. But what that does right when we wake up is it helps to actually signal to the body. Our body's very intelligent. It knows what it wants. It knows what it needs. So it signals to the body that, okay, we're going to start moving today. And now I can help you. Now I'm on your side. Your body, you want your body.
I'm not fighting. We're not fighting
each other.
Yeah. We're working synergistically.
Right. Exactly.
Teamwork
makes the dream work.
Don't leave me hanging. I was like, if you guys aren't watching this on YouTube, you should. It's really funny.
Like, why do we not have our own show?
We should. We should. Hair, science, chemistry, yoga.
Yeah, yoga. The body is science, and like we are like one big vibrating cell.
Yes.
Lots of cells.
Lots of them. Multiple.
Lots of them. But obviously all vibrating.
All of it. Yeah. So the forward fold, I know for me that was really hard for a while just because there's a lot. But as I've done it more and more, it's true. And then to come up slowly from it, it's like, oh my God, it like opens everything up. So I don't start my day with that. I can definitely start doing that.
I don't
know if I'm gonna wiggle the toes and the ankle. I will definitely do a forward fold.
Do a forward fold. I literally promise you it's life changing.
Okay.
I started implementing it last year.
She is a little dramatic, but yes.
I love it. It'll change your life.
It'll change your life. Everything's gonna change my life.
When I started sitting as an esthetician, I sat all day long, right? And then I'm also getting that low back compression from just sitting. It's a different type than what stylists have, right?
Some of us sit on stools all day.
But that forward fold elongates the spine, it stretches everything. And then if you can bend the knees on an inhale, and then as you exhale, incorporate the breath. And on an exhale, give yourself a spinal massage. It literally is, if you roll from tailbone through each vertebra and all the way up to the crown of the head, nice and slow, take your time. Roll.
Roll up. say, I did this and she did this.
Yeah, you're hinging up like this.
Yeah.
Roll.
Yeah, because I like to do everything fast.
Breathe, baby, breathe.
We're working on it. Okay,
I love it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, spinal massage, roll up. And honestly, if you can take a couple of moments and just open the front of the chest, I think a lot of times we think of the spine as like just on the back side of the body, right, but it actually is in the front too. Mm-hmm. And we need to find that movement too, because obviously we live in a time where we're on computers all day. We're on a cell phone. We're hunched over like this.
Well, even
hunched over hair.
Exactly.
You know,
at the shampoo
hunched
bowl.
over giving a facial. Open the chest, roll the shoulders down the back, give yourself some head circles, maybe some shoulder rolls. Take a few moments in between clients, right when they're walking in, they're getting settled in. Give yourself a little bit of move, maybe some shaking. Activate the nervous system a bit. I promise it'll be life-changing for you guys if you implement this.
Yeah, I think especially like what we were talking about earlier, if you are newer in the industry, I mean, at any point that you're at in your career, implement this. But if you're newer, start the practice now, because this is where you're starting to build habits in how you show up in your career. And if you've been at it for 20 something years and your body's check engine lights do come on every day, maybe a good idea to consider, right? I'm not telling you do this. I'm not telling you don't do this. What I wanted to do with Katrina is bring her on, mainly because she has experience in our industry. So she knows how we operate. She's in the industry, and she has so much knowledge because she's a yogini. I don't know why we should play a drink again.
When you say that, like,
I love it.
Okay.
I think it's my favorite word. Imagine if we did it. If you're listening to this, do a drinking game every time I say yogini, you'll be smashed. I'm just kidding. But I wanted to bring her on just because of, like I said, her expertise in both in our industry and in yoga, and just seeing her over the last, when did you start yoga teacher training?
I became a yoga teacher a little over a year ago. So I started training almost 2 years ago.
I was going to say, I feel like it's been a couple of years since you were like taking all the hours of certification.
Yeah.
And so I see just how she's not changed, but like, just there's something different. And I know that it's something to do with the yoga. So I wanted to bring her on here. And I know a lot of us are stuck in our ways. I always encourage having an open mind, always, in everything that you do in your life. And so again, I'm not saying go do hot yoga and start doing all these fucking crazy poses and shit. Watch the video. She made a beginner tutorial, something to start implementing to make sure that you check in and take care of you. Because the only way that you're going to sustain your career is if you are good, because you are the one who is doing the hair. You are the one who is running the business. And so that's the main reason I wanted to bring her on and touch on something that I haven't touched on before. So
I'm hyped. You just got me so hyped with that like message.
So good.
So good. You know, like when we start something new, it's always scary, right? We don't know the outcome. We don't know where we're going. But in order to grow, in order to get better, in order to be better, it takes stepping out of our comfort zone.
I have a couple podcast episodes on this, guys, if you go back, talking about getting outside of your comfort zone. So important. It's literally necessary for growth. And so the message from me is take care of you. Take care of you physically, take care of you emotionally, take care of you mentally, whatever that looks like, for you to show up as your fucking best. Because when you show up as your best, that's where the confidence comes in, that's where the success comes in, that's where the abundance comes in, that's when you feel good, you look good, you act good, like all of that. And so this is one, yes. This is one piece of this puzzle, right, of our life, and how to make it all flow. So I will post the video up. I haven't decided yet. Truthfully, it's not that I haven't decided. I don't know if I can edit this recording video and her video together. So it's either going to be after this, or I'm going to create a whole different link for it. But either way, if you are listening to this episode, the video is available if you go on YouTube of her practice, and it's a short practice. And I would probably recommend, I haven't seen it, but I know her and I know it's great.
It's 4 poses.
Okay, yeah, I would recommend do it every day.
Yeah.
Rewatch it over and over. Just do it every day and see, give yourself like I don't know, 21 days. Is that like a thing? 21 days?
Well, it takes
to build a
6 weeks
habit?
to build a habit.
Okay,
6
got it.
weeks.
So 6 weeks. Do it for 6 weeks. 7, 14, 20, whatever, a month-ish.
Yeah. And it's 10 minutes. I mean, think about all of the great things that you can accomplish yourself if you give yourself 10 minutes every day.
Do it while your Magic's color is processing. There you go. 10-minute color.
You have no choice but to do it now.
Do it. Do it. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, absolutely see if you can integrate it into your life, but ultimately just do what it takes to take care of you, to sustain you, so that you can build and scale and grow and just be wildly happy. That's my goal for you, is just fucking be happy and be confident.
Love that.
Right? Anything else from you?
You're so inspirational.
Yay.
You guys are so lucky to watch her.
Oh my God. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. She drove to my home office today so that we can hang out and record this. And so you got anything else?
I don't
except
think
for a
so.
nice deep breath. Yeah.
Breathe. Your
Remember to
clients
breathe.
will see a difference. Your clients will notice a difference. You'll attract a different type of clientele when you take care of yourself.
Take care of you guys.
Love and light.
Until next time.
Namaste.
Bye.